Hey guys, it's Vixen, and if you're new here, I'm Vixen. I am a freshman in college. I like to read, and just generally I'm really busy. Sorry the last few videos have been taking a while, and if you're not new here, welcome back. But yeah, I'm sorry about the last few videos taking forever. I do have a really hectic schedule, and the only day I actually don't get that I get off before 5 o'clock is Tuesdays, and then Fridays, and then I have the weekend, but the weekend I have to go home and go see my dog and help out there. This video is my January wrap-up mixed with February TBR. February is going to be just as hectic as this month because scholarships are due. Right now I'm in the middle of midterms, and then I have more midterms next month, so yeah. But little update, I might be getting a puppy. By the time this is put up, I will have known if I've gotten it or not, so I will update if we did or not. Hopefully when I edit. If it's not, then I'll probably do a community post or something about it. So for my January wrap-up, I actually started listening to an audiobook, and then I also read an ARC. But I finished Icing Hearts by J.J. Wright. It was an ARC. I didn't actually end up reading it in time, but I did end up reading it this month. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. I actually really liked it. It was a natural slow burn and not some weird stuff. It was a good enemies to lovers, and yeah, but it's a sports romance. It was about ice hockey, and yeah, but I would tell you more, but I consume, and then so busy, but it was really good. And then we have The Nanny by Lana Ferguson, if you can, it'll focus. No, the lighting's a little bright. I rated this 3 stars. It is about a girl named Cassie who lost her job, and she used to have an OnlyFans account. She took that down a while ago, but she lost her job at a hospital and is in her last year of graduate school. She basically needs a job and applies to become a nanny, and that is kind of where we start off, and it's basically about her and her boss and how that works out for them. Yeah. A little cliche in some spots, really bad communication, I will warn you. If you want to read it, you can go ahead. It was good enough for me, but kind of expensive for me. And then the next book we have is Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is Sarah Caroli's. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. This is one of her favorite books by Emily Henry, and so I'm I better try out Emily Henry's book. Emily Henry's books, I have a few more, but I'm this one seems like a good starter. I rated it 3 stars. It was actually it's really well written. The 3 stars is just because there was not any real big emotions for me. If it's a girl working through trauma, it made me tear up, but I never actually started crying, so it's oh, it was sweet. But it is basically about a girl named January and a guy named August, or Augustus, but she calls him Gus. So he has some trauma that he's working through, and legal stuff. And then January is dealing with something that she's dealing with grief because her father died, and just trying to work through that. And this house that she moves into, because she hasn't written a book in a while, and they're both writers, by the way. They're both having writer's block, and she has nowhere to live because she hasn't been able to get a book out because of this grief. And she was gifted a house, well, not gifted, was received a house in her dad's will. And yeah, so she's just trying to get the house ready to sell it, try to write this book, and this is about those two getting to know each other. So the next book we have is Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. I hate this book. Now that I'm looking at the star rating I gave it when I first had it, I totally disagree actually. I am giving this a 1 star. I should have DNF'd it as soon as I realized the writing style was bad. And I really did think about DNFing it. I'm like, oh, I don't want, because I'm really skeptical about DNFing books. I'm like, oh, I don't want to. And I was like, no, I definitely should have DNF'd this book. I'm never going to be able to read Sophie Lark's books again. I might be able to, but this book is just like, it's supposed to be enemies to lovers and arranged marriage, and it was, ugh. But basically it's about 2 different families that are both a part of like the underworld, and some stuff happens. I don't recommend. I mean, I know it's big in the smut world, but even then, it's not even that good of smut. Then I listened to Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I gave it a 4 stars. It was actually my first audiobook that I've fully listened to. Usually I never am able to finish them because I get bored, but I'm like, oh, these 10-minute walks to class are really boring. I should listen to something, and oh my gosh, the amount of times I started laughing out loud while walking to class while listening to this book was hilarious. It's just like, people would just look at me like I'm weird, and like, just laughing because someone said. I rated it a 4 stars because I did kind of miss a few points because, you know, you're kind of spacing out, thinking about things. But yeah, it is basically about a girl named Daisy Jones and how she is brought up through life, and it talks about her friends, and then it also talks about a band by the Warner Brothers, who are some characters for sure. One is the lead singer, and he has some issues. And then there is also his younger brother, who just has always looked up to their old brother, and they work through a lot of things. But yeah, I did find out that this book was kind of based off Fleetwood Mac, the band. Sorry, but I love that band. I have a shirt that my mom got me about that band, with that band's name on it and one of their songs, and it's a really good band. But yeah, so that was good. And then, oh, I haven't even put it on here. Oh, because I can't. But the last book I have that I've finished is A Game of Fate by Scarlett St. Clair, who is my favorite author in the whole world. This is the first book in the Hades saga, but it goes along with the Hades Persephone series, so this would technically be the second, like a 1.5 type book for the Hades Persephone. This is basically Hades' perspective of the first book in the like A Touch of Darkness book. I'm pretty sure I just finished this book and I did not want to read any books. I didn't know what I was going to read. And I was just like, I need a palate cleanser. I needed something I know I'm going to like. So I read this, rated it a 4 stars. Beautiful. It was magnificent. I finished it in 2 days. It did have it filled in some plot holes, so that was really nice. If you do need like a little series, I'll give you a little series thing. So it's basically about a girl named Hades. Not a girl, oh my god. It is about a girl named Persephone, who is a goddess, or a daughter of a goddess. She is technically a goddess, and she has dormant powers, and she doesn't like her standing, and she doesn't really believe she's a real goddess, and her mother has kept her very locked in. And then it is also about a god named Hades, who is the god of the underworld. And it is basically about how they meet and how both of them are kind of tied together. And yeah, but it is a good read if you like Scarlett St. Clair, and it's pretty good writing too. And then what I'm currently reading, I kind of stopped because I've been so busy. Then what I'm currently reading is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. This has been on my TBR forever. I'm so glad I finally started it. I'm on chapter 14, so 110, page 110. This is basically about a girl named Signa who was orphaned as a baby, and we kind of found out she isn't really able to die, no matter how many times she accidentally tries, and then we're just trying to figure out why all of her family members are dying as she goes through. Like, she moves from one house to another, to another, to another, and every single time they start dying. And then we find out she can do some certain things, and Death himself is really obsessed with her. Like, not stalking obsessed, just kind of like, she's intriguing, why can she do these things? Because he obviously can't take her in any way, because she's not meant to die yet. So, yeah. That's that. And then, these are the books I haven't started, but I'm probably going to read this month. Okay, so we have a book actually on my 2024 TBR. There's this sticky, but this is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. It is a used book. Ooh, that's some interesting writing. Okay, that's why. So I hate hardcover books, but if a hardcover book is going to be cheaper than the paper version, I'm going to get the hardcover. It's fine. But this book is basically about a woman that has been around while her family dies, and she is now old, and everyone blames her, but she keeps saying it wasn't her, and she has maids that have to take care of her because that's how old she is, and she's finally ready to tell the story, and this maid not a maid, like her caretaker, doesn't know if they should be believing her or not, but they are writing the story for her. Or no, she's writing the story on typewriter, but they are listening to this, reading the story. But yeah, that's that book. And then we have The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is another one of the booktubers that I watched. This is one of they read this in 2023 and they loved it. But I don't actually 100% know what this book is about, other than the fact that it's about some thing, like they're going to find out some stuff and there's a lot of keys involved. So if you do want to know more, I will link the booktuber that did read it already and really likes it, because they give a pretty good description of it, but I don't remember their description. I'll link them down below. And then the next book is a book that has been on my TBR for actually over a year now, or almost a full year, is Animals in Translation by Temple Grandin and Katherine Johnson. So my dad got this book for me. It was a free book technically, and it is basically about how this person with autism understands animal behavior in a way that most people don't. So they're basically explaining how, that the animals, why they act the way they should, or the way they do, and I want to start that book finally. And then we also have The Deal by L. Kennedy, and this is the first book of the off-campus series. This is also a ice hockey, or a professional hockey. It's just a college read about ice hockey. It is about a girl named Hannah Wells who has had issues with things and meets Garrett Graham, who, you know, just, yeah, that's all I know. But I'm also listening to another book right now. I've taken a break because I've been like so stressed, and I'm just like, I don't want to listen to anything. And I am so confused. Very confused. It is a part of my challenge, my classics challenge. Sorry, that didn't come out right. But it is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickinson. I do have this on my iPad as well to read, but oh my god, I'm so confused because like I've been listening to it and I know I have been like spacing out on certain parts, and like the beginning was just weird, very weird. So yeah. I'm about 15% of the way in. It's a 16-hour long book, so yeah. But that is the books for, those are my January wrap-up books, and then my February books. But yeah, if you did make it this far, obviously I would like it if you guys leave a like or subscribe. But I usually do a question. Let's do, what is one of your January, like what's a goal that you want to do this year? I don't know if I did this question already. But like what's a goal, not based around work or school, like what's a hobby that you want to start or looks interesting to you? But leave your answer down in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye!